It's Seattle Connected, the show that connects you. Who? You, the viewers, yes. With entrepreneurs, business people, movers and shakers in our community, letting you know first who they are before they become household names, which we know they soon will be. Today with me, I have a collective of guests, a crew, not an entourage, but a crew of business people who are making things happen in the art world. The first person I'm going to introduce you to is, I guess you'd say a Jack or a Jill of all trades. She wears many hats, businesswoman, artist, and she has a different way of looking at things, and it's a good thing. She's going to pass on some jewels for you, as well as my man Myron over here. Please give it up for the incomparable, beautiful, sophisticated, talented artist. What else should I say? Kristina, what's up?
Hey, how you doing? Thank
Good.
you so much for having me here.
Good. How was the intro?
Intro was amazing.
Was it all right?
Yeah.
It was good?
Feeling
It was
hyped
good? All right.
Hey, look,
All right.
I do this all day.
Okay. That's what's up. Glad you guys can make it. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So how's the drive up here?
This time at least I was going against traffic, but
Yeah.
you can't beat the views driving into Seattle. You kind of throw your music on and
Yeah.
sit through it and make it beautiful your own way.
That's what's up. And Myron, you were here early, man. I was going to say you're on that military time talking about. You like, yo, you tell me 5, I'm going to be here at 4.
Yes,
just to make sure. If I'm late, I'm at least still here at 4:30. So that's what's up. That's important. So where do you guys want to start, man? Like, I've been waiting to do this for a minute. We've been talking back and forth.
Yeah.
I was like, I was checking out your art and I was like, this is really dope. And, I'm a big art fan. I'm the kind of person, like, I can't tell you 100 different artists from, the last 200 years or anything like that. But I know when I like something. I know when it's like, okay, it looks like they put a lot of time into that and their art is telling a story.
Yes.
No matter what it is. And that's what really resonates with me is what it's saying to me. You know what I'm saying? Just like a good song, like someone could be like, I don't like that. But I'm like, are you listening to this? Mm-hmm. Are you getting what they're saying? Like, come on, man. And that's what I think art makes people feel. I think without even trying, all of us like some type of art and you just don't even know it.
Yes.
So
Absolutely.
Definitely. I would say creatives in general just typically view the world as art. There's just so many forms and fashions of art, from painting to music to photography, and that is the beautiful thing about it is it can be interpreted so many ways. I can look at my art and see one thing and someone can come and view it and see a totally other thing, but it still speaks to them in that individual way. And I think that's what makes me so passionate about art.
Yeah. Kristina, are you born and raised Washingtonian?
Not really. No, I was actually born in Europe. My dad met my mom in the military in Europe. My mom's from Croatia, and I was brought over here when I was pretty young, and then I've kind of lived all over King County since, but...
It's home now?
It is, yeah. It's became home to me and my boys. So, and I do love the Pacific Northwest. I love the variety of city and nature that it gives you.
Yeah. And shout out to your parents, too. 'Cause if it wasn't for them, you wouldn't be here, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. What's up? And Myron, are you from here?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
I'm raised.
Yeah, man, I like that. Me too. That's what's up. Yeah, I like that. You always find, like, we have a lot of people from California. I think we're getting more people from Florida now. And, yeah, hey, we'll take them.
Yeah.
The prices are going up on everything now. You're getting a lot of people in the tech industry wanting to move here, and
you got to know how to hustle to live in Seattle.
Yes, these are facts. So, Kristina, take us through your journey into the art world.
Yeah. I've always loved art, even since 3rd grade, I would say is when I noticed my initial love for art, between doodling and just kind of class projects. And it's kind of sat with me growing up, but even more so during the pandemic, just being on lockdown, I kind of tapped back into that creative side of me and realized, wow, this is really bringing me a lot of peace of mind. It's giving me an outlet while I feel so isolated. And then one day I'm just talking on the phone with my mom, and she's like, if you enjoy doing it so much and you're good at it, why not make money off it? Why not start something from this? And that's kind of what sparked me to create my business. And that's turned into me definitely leveling up in my art career and just being able to connect with the community and build this art family with Myron and what we call our brush squad. And it's just been an amazing experience connecting with everyone and seeing that growth.
Yeah, the pandemic ripped a new one out of everybody, and it was almost like a fight or flight kind of thing. I think it took such a toll on everyone. I forget how many years they're saying that it's going to take for people to really like mentally get back to where they were at. Yeah. And then now they're saying it might not ever come back. But I think the pandemic, it really brought a lot out of people without even trying. Yeah.
Put things in perspective for sure. Like if you don't have this to fall back on, what's your next move? When things got shut down, it's like, what else can you do to make money? Yeah,
I was trying everything just to keep my sanity and just, find ways to make the best out of a horrible situation. It was crazy. Myron, how did you keep yourself occupied during the pandemic? Like, did you take on different art projects? Did you kind of like say, you know what, I'm just going to do me. I'm just going to kind of do my own thing.
For me, to be honest with you, the pandemic was an amazing experience. And it's, I feel like it's a reflection of how the world has gone. We're used to instant gratification, all this stuff. And I'll say this from a view, I was fresh off of 15-year prison sentence. Okay. So I'm previously incarcerated, right? I've always been entrepreneurial, all those things. But also being by myself wasn't an issue. You know what I mean? Like, I've been locked up for 15 years and people think, oh, you're by yourself. You're in a community of people, depending on the facility, maybe 3,000 to 10,000 other people. It's a community in there, right? Right. But you know how to be by yourself, stay in your lane. There's rules, responsibility, politics, things like that. So to be honest with you, when the pandemic happened, I felt like it's necessary for people to be 6 feet away. You know what I mean? There were some things that I felt like are just normal, necessary things. The things I didn't like were seeing potential law enforcement or military trying to tell people they got to stay in their house. Like I seen some things like that in other areas in the news, and that's something that concerned me. But until it happened to me, you know what I mean? I'm prepared to fight for it because I got family, and my grandfather's 92 years old. I don't care what rules. Yeah, thank you. This is what I do it for. I wake up every day to make sure that my grandpa's straight, Yeah. And nothing is going to keep me from doing that. And I feel like at the end of the day, even law enforcement, they're human beings. You know what I mean? So, I mean, either you're going to let me do it or we're going to fight about it. You know what I'm saying? So, but again, it's an honorable thing to do. And I feel like most people did that. Like I went into my community when I was taking care of my grandpa. I went to knock on all the doors of the people in my community that's older and asked them, hey, you need some stuff from the store? You need something? You need something. That's know what I mean? Yeah. And my art career started in 2020. So, you know what I mean? Yeah. So,
really?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious. Yep. I got my first job at a mural job at Seattle Central. I was going to school at Seattle Central for a IT administration design degree. Yeah. And I was so sad. I mean, I was literally, that part broke my heart. Because, again, I was locked up. I didn't use no computer. I didn't have no phones, smartphones. It's a computer in your hand and all that. So I figured it's a win-win. Even if I don't use this as a career, I need this just to function in the world today.
Wow. You know? So, Myron, what type of pieces did you create, or did you have something that kind of spoke volumes as far as what was going on at the what was going on at the time? Did that kind of change your perspective on you creating?
No. Again, like my career started in 2020, But what I learned whilst I was incarcerated, you know, the community of people are always you're gonna go to where you know, they say birds of a feather flock together. So me, I worked on myself. You know, I worked out every day. I went to school. I got my degree, and I did art. And I'm a type of person. I got OCD. I'm a Capricorn. So if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna win, and I'm gonna do whatever that takes. I'm gonna try harder. I'm gonna do whatever. You know what I mean? But so I did art when I was incarcerated, and I was good. And I didn't, you know, realize that I was that good till, you know, people started seeing it. But I did what I love. Like I painted. I mean, I drew and painted, you know, family members I missed, and you know, music I missed, and a lot of, again, that's why I call myself an impact-based artist, because all my artwork has an emotional and an attachment to it, right? So I might have been doing artwork for a gentleman that ain't seen his family in 20 years, or ain't maybe never gonna see his family again. And I put his kids and his wife, or maybe his mom in the picture and she passed away. You know what I mean? And again, I'm very talented, and so man, I would get phone calls, you know, or people would call their family and they'd be crying on the phone. They'd be like, "Hey, come here, man. My wife want to say thank you, man." And she on the phone crying, and you know what I mean? And I knew one day I'd be home and those people would call me or find me on, you know, the internet, and be looking at that picture and be like, "Man, I'm gonna find that dude," and be like, "Man, you was a good dude, bro. Thank you, man. I made it home." And you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that just continued in 2020.
Yeah, it's amazing that things like that can bring out something in you that you didn't know was there and other people saw, and you're getting kudos from people that you're looking at them like, "Hey, I just created this because I felt that, you know, it was inside of me, and I'm glad that it was received the way it is." And it just makes you want to work even harder, you know, when people appreciate what you've put into your art, because it's coming from inside.
Absolutely.
So that's dope. And as far as being in the art world as a woman goes, Kristina, and look, I'm not a woman, so I can just assume. Sure. But have you experienced some people that don't want to give you the benefit of the doubt, or look at you differently because you're not just an artist, but you're an entrepreneur? Do you feel like you have to work that much harder to prove yourself, or?
Not necessarily. I actually feel like my art gets the recognition it deserves. I would say the more frustrating side of that is people reaching out to you as a woman in this industry without the intentions of actually enjoying your art. You know, it's like I've had people go back and forth with me in messages expressing interest in art, and really it's like, "Oh, well, are you free for a date at some time, or can you it's like, "Oh, come on now, like it's unprofessional, like respect my hustle, respect my art." You know, and it's like, this is what I'm passionate about. You got me all excited to talk about my art, and that's not really what you came to me with. I would say that is more frustrating, being a woman in the art world. I say the art speaks for itself, but that for sure has been like an ick for me.
Yeah, but I can tell you're built for it. You're tough.
Oh yeah, I shut that down for sure. But yeah, I would just say, you know, you got to respect the artist no matter what gender they are, and just if you approach them about their art, make sure that that's what you're approaching them about, because we are very sensitive about our art and we take a lot of pride in our art, and yeah, you know, it's part of us. So. And
do you want to introduce our other special guests who making a guest appearance?
Jonarra. This is actually one of the girls in our art group, and we've kind of created this Sqaud. Yes, we've created this art family, this sisterhood, which I appreciate a lot, because it goes beyond the art. I feel like a lot of us are there for each other in our personal lives too, and it's nice to find other girls, other moms, especially that do the same thing I love to do in their free time, and we juggle it all. and it's relatable, and it's really nice to share that space with someone that understands and gets it that way.
Wow, you see that, Jonarra? You see that?
No, I feel that. Like,
I know you do.
Man, that was nice. She's all right, huh?
Yeah, no, she's amazing. Like, being part of the Brush Squad and just having that community, I think has changed my art experience completely, because in the beginning I was going at it alone. And then finding you guys, it's just like we push each other, we support each other. I see other women pursuing and grinding and hustling just as hard as I am. And we're just like putting each other on game, looking out for each other's back, and just
like
making
a
sure.
family.
Yeah, no, it really is like a family. Like, we want to see everybody win. And we get so excited when we see each other's success, because we just know, like, that's one of us next, right?
Yeah.
Like, every door that we open, we just bring everybody with us, and it's amazing. I've never experienced anything like it. So
yeah, that's dope, and you can tell it's genuine. Like, even when you came here, it was like her running into her sister. She's like, "Hey!"
Yeah,
I got excited. I'm like, "Hey, what's up? I don't know you yet, but hey, what's up?" And those boots are fire.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. They comfortable?
Super comfortable.
Yeah.
I'm a mom now. Everything's about comfort.
Man,
Oh, you see how she had to throw that in there? I'm a mom now, so everything's about comfort. I
really
can still look good though.
You got to be able to move while you're moving.
Exactly.
This is
Always
true.
on the run.
Chasing them kids. Come on now.
Constantly.
Man.
Can I add something real quick?
Yeah,
I just wanted to
course.
say something real quick.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say thank you to Rodney.
Yes.
And he's somebody in the Brush Squad, but he's the one like created it, and even me, like, I feel like it encourages and inhibits all levels of careers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's people that's been doing this for 20 years, doing it for 20 days. You know what I mean? There's a variety of people, but everybody enjoys it. Everybody, like they said, get along like family. And I just want to make sure that, even me, like, I'm like, enjoy it. There's opportunities. There's always support, and it is cool. It is really cool. But I wanted to make sure to say thank you to Rodney.
Yeah,
Yes,
shout out to
Absolutely.
Rodney.
Shout out to Rodney.
Yeah, shout out to Rodney.
Where is Rodney?
Rodney
his
is
haircut.
preparing for his solo show tomorrow, actually,
Yeah.
Okay,
at
that's
Base Camp
what's up.
Studios,
Ooh.
Black Like Me, and we
Yeah.
all,
We will be
I
there.
don't know about we all. I'm going to make it with my kiddo and go support. I think, like Jonarra said, definitely when one person gets their foot in the door, whether it's a venue, a podcast, something like that, we try to bring all the artists into that and support each other that way.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I always tell my team. I always say, I'm out here working for us. Mm-hmm. When I accomplish something, it's a joke. I'm always like, I'm out here working hard for us. And I try to exemplify that in how I treat people.
Yes.
Knowing that everything comes full circle, right? So if I can help you out, I'm like, hey, they're going to return the favor. It might not be today. It might be 5 years from now. It might be just through a contact from one of you guys that might help me in the back end or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then even if not, just knowing that I did something for someone, that means a lot. Mm-hmm. So it's all about, I think the people that you surround yourself around can either make or break you.
That's 100%.
Absolutely.
Huge.
Because sometimes friends and even family might not see your vision. And that's all right. It doesn't mean that your vision is less important.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
So you have to say, all right, that's cool. You don't see what I see, but you
It's
will
not gonna
eventually.
stop it from
you
doing
will
what it's gonna
eventually.
do.
But just don't all of a sudden, no, we don't get down like that.
Yeah. Absolutely. Networking has gotten me into so many positions this last year. Kind of gotten me out of that shell and just really opened a lot of doors for areas I never thought I'd be a part of. So
as far as networking goes within your own team, like how is that to create with others?
I think we kind of create individually within our own space, and then we just enjoy sharing like our work in progress with each other. Like I could be at home painting by myself tomorrow night, and I'm like, oh man, this is so cool. I just want to share it with someone. I'm gonna go to the group chat and show them what I'm working on, and it's that constant encouragement and relatability between all of us. I don't see it as a competition. You know, at the end of the day, we all have our own lives going on outside of our art, but I think it's very special that we get to put that to the side sometimes and connect with each other in that way, because we're all so passionate about our art.
Yeah, that's dope. Jonarra, so what do you use for inspiration as far as like when you want to create something, or is it from something one of your Brush Sqaud members said, or is it just whatever comes to your mind? Because I know, like, being a musician, you'll hear, you know, people say, I gotta have this kind of scenery, this kind of mood, or I gotta, you know, or whether it's, you know, recreational drugs, whatever it is, people have their own.
Wow.
I'm being no, you never heard that?
No, I have.
No, I'm being serious. You've heard artists back in the, you know, 40s and 50s say, I need, you know, and then some people do that now. Some people find other things to do. But how do you get inspired to create something?
I mean, that's evolved over time, definitely. I think one of my main inspirations is I kind of create my art from a place as if like the art that I create is like your best friend rooting you on. So like a lot of things that I make is about empowerment, and I get a lot of my origin from fine art. So I paint a lot of portraiture, a lot of abstract work, but it's a lot of like empowering affirmations, or also just drawing from the culture. I paint a lot of portraiture of people that I feel inspired by their story, because being an artist is not easy. Nipsey Hussle.
Okay, come on.
I've painted Biggie.
Keep going.
Tupac.
Keep going. Yes. Come on. Come on.
Yeah, I paint whoever I connect to, really.
Yeah.
And their stories inspire me, because I just think like if they can do it, then I can definitely do this. Literally, like, okay, I used to listen to documentaries of Nipsey, and listening that he used to sell t-shirts out of a parking lot.
Yeah.
When I started my art journey, I literally pulled out a table in Seattle and started selling prints like in Seattle off the street, walking up to people like, hey, do you want to buy a print? Hey, do you want to buy a print? And that's kind of like how I started my journey. And I'm constantly blown away by how people in the Black community just continue to prevail. Like, because before I was like, oh, I can't do this. And the farther I get, I just constantly shock myself and am constantly inspired by just how many people who have come before me just have paved so many ways. And I don't know, I just continue to stay connected to that energy and spread that as well. So
I like how you're doing that, stay connected.
Yeah. That's right.
I see what you're saying, but that's dope.
Yeah.
So how do you guys deal with criticism? Like, I'll start off with you, Myron. How do you deal with someone who doesn't like something that you made? Do you take it personally, or are you just like, oh, whatever? I mean, honestly, everything's not for everybody.
I can only say one time ever have I ever even came into that and I wasn't finished, and that made them apologize.
Oh,
but it was warranted, right? And then I'm not saying that because I'm that good, because personally I mean, you know, if you don't like it, you don't like it. I'm not that personal. Like some people are personal about their art. I'm not. I let the art speak for itself. If you don't like it, you know, cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just don't get on me about it. Like, just don't look at it. You know what I mean? But honestly, like when I started, I did a mural on 23rd and Union on the Midtown Square building, right? Where Art Noir is at. And
wait, which one? What mural?
It's right on the front. It says Central District Community Love, and it has D. Charlene, Edwin Pratt, and then the Langston Hughes Performing Arts Center, and the Langston Hughes, the ballerina, all that. You know?
I did a video over there. That's why I was asking.
So that was my first time spray painting ever, right? But when I first started that, mural, I couldn't get my drawing on the wall. So I had never used spray paint before. So I was like, well, I'm gonna just play around with the spray painting since, you know, for today, and just try to see, you know, just I never spray painted. So I'm just over here playing on the wall. And at this time I was actually in the halfway house, which is a different kind of energy, right? And this dude was clowning me, and I was like, I was just out there playing with the paint. I didn't even get my drawing on the wall, whatever. And I said, when I finish, you're gonna apologize to me. And I meant that, you know what I mean? Because it's one thing if you don't like something, but it's another thing when you're trying to
it's a respect
create
thing.
an energy that, you know what I'm saying, where you clowning me, right? And I finished that, and that will forever, to this day and probably for the rest of my life, be one of the best pieces I've ever done. But I know it will definitely be the most meaningful piece in my life. You know what I mean? That's my neighborhood. I love my community. I go far and beyond behind my community. That's why I do art. Everything I do is for my community.
Yeah.
And you know, my grandpa sees it every day. I take him to the store and I look at it and go, dang, I can't believe I did that. I still, every day I'm like, dang, I want to do something else to see if I can still do that. I'm like, I did
yourself.
that. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I really never really dealt with, you know, criticism or nothing like that. But I'm okay. Like, if you could give me some tips or you criticize me, I'm good. I mean, honestly, I'll tell you one time, and I'll keep this short. But I was in a museum, featured in a museum, and the guy, and I was a winner of an award.
Okay.
And there was a critic in there. And I didn't know he was a critic till after, but the guy says, what are you going to do with the $25,000 that you won? And I said, well, I used it, part of it, to fix my grandpa's roof. It was leaking. And he was like, oh, are you going to go to New York or Europe or not something? And I was like, no, that money been gone. I fixed the roof and got him a hearing aid and paid some bills. Yeah. And he said, well, I don't see you making it. And then you know what I had to say to him? I got upset, but I have discipline, you know what I'm saying? And it was just like a weird remark, right? Because like, and so what I said to him, I said, well,
hey, just a second. Now remember, this is a family show, but go ahead.
Absolutely.
Go. All right.
But what I said to him was very respectful. I said, you know what? You wouldn't even have a job if it wasn't for me. Because he's an art critic.
That's facts.
He goes to look at art to talk good or bad about it, right?
That's facts.
And he loved my art. He just thought in his perspective that I should go to Europe or New York or something with my money instead of taking care of my family and my community. Nah. You right to your opinion. I'm not mad about that. Yeah. And I'm making it just fine.
Yeah. Like I said, it's a respect thing. You know what I'm saying? That's fine. I'd rather you just keep it to yourself. You know, hey, you're a critic. That's what you do. You know, if you can't play the game, hey, you just sit back, be a critic, but just keep your mouth closed. That's like with sports, you know, like some of the best coaches actually played the game in some capacity, right? Right. You know, so they have a different mindset, a different vision. They can see things before it happens. So a lot of the players you'll see, they get the most upset when it's critics, people who have never played the game or picked up a brush or anything, you know, who has all the advice in the world to tell you what you're doing wrong. And you're like, you've never really
from
you
no
know,
experience.
and you don't know what it took for me to get here. You don't know how many times I was rejected and I kept going. You don't know how many times I've been hit on, I've been disrespected, I've had to run to get here in these fly boots. You don't know somebody's journey. You know what I'm saying? So it's like best to just keep your mouth closed and you can learn something. I think if we all listen more in life, you can learn a lot.
It's good discipline. It's good discipline because people are always, this is what you're going to learn in the world that's not governed by different kind of politics. Yeah. Out here in the world, people are going to say whatever they want to say. You have to have the discipline to understand that people have the right to say whatever they want to say. Yeah. They don't got a right to touch you, but they can say, so you shouldn't be able to get knocked off your square by something somebody says. No. You know what I mean? And, you know, you never know. They might have, you know, mental health issues, any kind of issue. So you have to be okay and be willing to be able to either discuss it and communicate or just roll on.
Or they could just be jealous.
Yeah. I mean,
exactly.
And Jonarra, going back to what you were saying with the support you were saying from the Black community, did you know that Black women are superheroes?
Absolutely.
Okay. I just want to make sure. No,
I was just like, whoa.
I just want to make sure that we're clear on that. That's a proven fact. And going into that, I want to ask each of you what your superpower is as far as being an artist. Whoever wants to start, they can start. Jonarra, go.
I believe my superpower is connecting people. I think, and whether that's connecting people to other people or connecting people to their own purpose or their own power. I believe that I'm very good at speaking life into people, which is why I choose empowerment to be the main message in my art, because when I meet people like on the street or within our community, I get to talk about my story, and people share their story with me. And a lot of people are just looking for someone to root for them.
That's true.
And a lot of people need that encouragement, and art is just a nice way to have that in your house. And now you met the artist, and now you know, like, this person is rooting for me and this person believes in me. Or whether that's like even connecting artists and my friends with everybody I meet. Like, literally, I talk about them all the time. Every opportunity I hear about, I send it their way. Like, I just want to see everybody win. Yeah. That makes me so happy. And like you said, like, helping people feels so good. Like, being able to give somebody something that they'll actually value feels so good. Like, it just makes me so happy. So yeah, I think that's my superpower.
Myron, what's your superpower, sir?
I would say my energy. I'm always positive. I'm even in the worst situations, I'm positive, smile, like hello, like whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
My energy is just a good energy, and I keep it that way, and I really try to encourage other people that I'm around to be that way, because I just have to have it that way. I just, I pride myself on being around good folks, period. Yeah. So that's my superpower, just good energy. The clients, every client I've ever had, I go far and beyond, with a great attitude. I'll go, we on a construction site, I'm doing art, they need some help. Hey, I got you, I'm helping you. You know what I mean? Like, it just makes everybody be like, man, that guy, he's a good guy. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I don't do it because of that. I do it because I might need help. You know what I mean? And he gonna sure enough help me because they know how it is,
Kristina?
I would say my influence and my example, especially to my children. I love showing my son, my growth. There's been times I've been able to treat him to things he's wanted to do because of a sale I made on my art. And, not everybody is designed to go to school and take a path of a doctor or a lawyer. There's ways to do what you love and make a good life off of that as well. And I really love instilling that creativity in my children. I love my Sunday mornings with my 3-year-old. He gets up and he gets his palette out, and he does art with me. And I just love embracing that creativity. I feel like a lot of people today try to kind of dim that down in children. And I love embracing that within youth, especially, and adults. I've had a lot of people, even with my paint and sip classes, like, that did enjoy art at some point in their life, and like they come to my class and that's the first time they've done art, and they'll come up to me, a week, 2 later and be like, I just feel so inspired, and I've started like using that as an outlet myself at home when I want to create, and I've just realized like how much I really enjoy art, and it makes me feel good because it's like I'm sharing something that I love with others, and they're finding their own good energy within that. So I would say that's my superpower I've gained from this.
You just had to hit us with the tearjerker.
I know.
But I could tell it was coming from an honest place, and I have to be honest with you guys. I felt a certain way knowing how talented you guys are and seeing some of your work, and no one brought me anything to this episode. I mean, we'll talk about it later.
We got to get some art in here.
No, I'm just hey, whatever. No, we need to have something personalized for me. Like, come on. I hate to tell guests what they should do when they come into someone's home, but
that's exactly what you
maybe
do.
They just weren't. Yeah, it is what I did, and I'm sorry that I had to do it.
It's okay.
The disrespect. Anyway,
you can't rush art, though.
Yeah, that's true. But I love gifts.
It'd be that much more meaningful because now we have this rapport. We've got a feel for who you are.
And now we know that.
This is true. And I always tell people I accept gifts. So don't ever think that I don't. My birthday is July 14th. Cancer season is coming up. So you guys got plenty of time. Send me gifts. I'm very appreciative.
Okay.
We're going to do it like
Let
this.
Me write that down.
Oh, please do. July 14th. Cancer season.
You.
Yep. And I'll let you know whatever, colors or whatever.
Yeah, what's your favorite color?
Blue.
Okay.
Have you not watched an episode like Blue?
I've watched some.
And that's my son's favorite color. You know how I know?
How?
Because I told him it's his favorite color. I did since he was born. Shout out to Blue. All right. You guys, I've learned a lot, but before you go, I want to ask each of you, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? We can go back this way again, Jonarra.
I see myself just being the absolute best version of myself. Like, and I know that's very vague, but art has changed me completely. Like, and I don't even recognize who I was 2 or 3 years ago. Like, the person that I am today, how dedicated I am to this, how much I've grown, like how much we've all grown is insane. I thought the things that I accomplished a couple months ago, I thought that would take years. Like 5 years from now, it's just going to be bigger and better things. Like, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I'm excited.
That's dope. Myron, 5 years. What we
definitely a design firm, and probably into real estate, with a good portfolio, and being able to have the time, more time to structure educational classes or some type of something where I can do structured educational classes more often, because it's hard to find the time. I participate in a lot of different organizations in their classes and their different programs, but I feel like I do that because they were trying to find out like what is needed, and I'm going through all these challenges in life. And so that's why I'm so passionate about sharing it, whether it be reintegrating into society, or financial education, or teaching at-risk youth creative outlets like she was saying, because at the end of the day it's therapeutic. Music, art, poetry, these are just things that people can do, and especially young people. It's good. I feel like we all used to do it, but we forgot. Like, I used to do art when I was a kid. I just forgot because we learned about money, this, that, and the other. So that's where I see myself.
Okay, Kristina?
Yeah, so essentially I do medical 9 to 5. That funds this, really. For now it is like a side hustle, but also a passion. I'd love to grow my business as much as possible, to a point where maybe I don't have to do a 9 to 5 every day of the week, and I have that freedom. I think that is the most freeing feeling you can have, is being able to do what you want when you want. Just that stability in general. I plan on growing with my family I've created, making sure that they're stable as they grow, and moving up in my art career and my medical career, buying a house, definitely traveling more, taking my art across the world, and definitely a lot more community involved events. Yeah.
Well, I thank you for fitting me into your busy schedule. Thank you for all the wisdom that you have imparted on our audience and myself. I thank you guys. This has been dope. We could do this even longer, but we got other episodes we got to knock out. So sorry.
Sure.
About that. But no, this has been really cool. And before you go, can you please let people know at home how they can get in touch with you? Because I know they're going to be hitting me up.
Sure.
And they can hit you up directly, because I ain't got time for all that.
So I can be found under all platforms as Stina's Art Studio.
Stina's Art Studio. That's it?
That's it for now.
That was kind of quick.
There's a couple events in the works, but there's still some details being ironed out, so I'm not going to promote those yet. But, as long as you find my page, you'll definitely see the art. You'll see future events. I am planning on hosting paint and sip nights, and things like that. So if that's your jam, stay connected with me, and a lot more coming up this summer for sure, once we can get outside and the weather's a little bit nicer.
Okay, that's what's up, Myron.
mcurrydesigns.com is my website. I got an event page, which the entire Brush Squad's stuff that they're doing, any events, will be added on there. Also on Instagram, TikToks, YouTubes, and Facebooks as m.currydesigns. You can see all my work on there. It's enjoyable. It's entertaining. I only post what I like. I like to look at people painting and do murals so I just have people post what I like looking at So it's very entertaining. Even if you don't want to buy nothing, enjoy yourself.
Jonarra?
You can find me on Instagram at nar.artwork, and that's 2 R's. And then you can email me at nar.artwork@gmail.com. I also am having a paint and sip on February 10th, so you can meet me in person. And that's going to be with Creators Hub. And then also at Bainbridge Museum right now, and we're having a closing ceremony on February 17th. And yeah, you can also find me on TikTok as well. But yeah, if you just click on my link in any of my social medias, it'll just take you to every single link to my socials. So
all right,
yeah,
guys, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And I have to thank you guys so much at home for watching. Like I always say, it's important to take care of others, but please make sure you take time to take care of yourself. And until next time, stay connected. Peace.